the police got an anonymous tip. They said, if you're looking at Patrick's house, I suggest you go into the garden, and there's a little shed in the garden, a little wooden house, and under that little wooden house you need to dig up the ground. Police went there, they dig up the ground, and what they found in the ground was a bathtub, but turned upside down. And then they got very worried when they saw that bathtub. They took the bathtub up. They found a glass jar. Inside that pot there was some strange liquid, and inside that liquid was a cut off human foot.
Hello, I'm Jimmy.
Hi, this is Emma, and today I'm gonna be doing the talking.
Yeah, I'm so excited for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you a story.
Okay, let's go.
Yeah, so this story, I'm telling you this because it happened in the Netherlands, and it happened close to where I used to live as a child. It happened in my childhood.
And it's a murder case, right?
Yes, that's the craziest part about it. And there's many crazy things about this murder story, so yeah, let's just get started.
Yeah.
The year is 2010. At that time I'm 13 years old, and I live in this city called Spijkenisse.
Yeah, Spijkenisse.
Yeah, Spijkenisse. And the city, or it's kind of a town at that time, also has like many, like a school and all these facilities, and also a little forest nearby. It's very nice, like nicely built houses and forests and stuff. And yeah, after school I would often meet up with my friends and we would play outside and drive around the neighborhood on our bicycles, and we would also like to play in the forest. We like to climb the trees, and we like to make something called a witch potion. Do you know what is a witch potion?
No.
I don't know, it's often done in the Netherlands by kids. You just find a bucket or whatever, and you just throw everything you can find in the area. So like you grab some leaves and some dirty water and some sticks and and you just like stir it up, and you know, you just imagine that this soup has magical powers, and you just try to make it like as special looking as possible, you know.
Yeah.
So
Sounds a bit smelly.
It was smelly, yes. We just tried not to get our nose too close to that, but it was just a lot of fun just playing in the dirt. And yeah, so we really like to play outside, but one rule my parents had: when the street lights turn on, we have to go home. Because then the sun starts going down, and my parents said, okay, then...
It's kind of signal.
Yeah, because we didn't have smartphones really. It was not normal to carry a smartphone. So they said, okay, if the street lights turn on, you come back home. So yeah, I just remember living in that city as a very nice childhood memory, and I always felt happy there, and I never felt unsafe when I was playing in the forest and in the streets.
And also you were just a teenager.
Yeah.
I mean,
young teenager.
Yeah, young teenager. There is no too many dirty or, scared thoughts in young teenagers' mind.
No.
Yeah, right?
No. Yeah.
People, all of us just miss the time we call that young and dumb, right?
Yeah, that was the best time.
Yeah.
I was living there, but of course there's many other people in Spijkenisse. And one of those people was Nanda Kerklaan. Nanda Kerklaan was 43 years old, that's her. Just a simple, friendly-looking woman. And she was working at a place called the Welplaat. And this place is a special workplace because it helps people trying to find a job. These people have a lot of difficulty finding a normal job, so this is like a supportive workplace.
Yeah.
So she really liked working there, and she would always go to her work by bike. And
typical Dutch.
Yeah, like many Dutch people go to work by bike. And on her route to her work, she always passed a street called Mallebos. And this street is right next to the forest. The forest is called Mallebos. So on the morning of January 28th, 2010, Nanda got onto her bike and she went to work. But then at around 7:15 in the morning, she never arrived at work.
Oh.
Yeah, she never arrived. Later that morning, she was actually found on the side of the road.
Oh, by who?
Heavily injured.
Heavily injured.
Yeah.
By who?
By the people that lived there, because there's at that area where she was found, there was a few houses on that street, and somebody found her behind the house.
Was she okay?
Well, yeah, she was heavily injured. Like she had injuries to her head, and some bones were broken. So they called the ambulance and they brought her to the hospital. So they were trying to revive her and stuff. But yeah, sadly, after 5 days, she passed away in the hospital.
Did she tell anything important?
No, because she was not responsive. Nobody really saw what happened, which is really strange. The person living nearby, they just suddenly found her in, like, it's called a ditch, you know, where it's like a little bit lower in the ground and there's some water running through it. And because it was January, the water was frozen, and she was found on top of the frozen water. She also had hypothermia. But the weird thing was, here's a picture of how they found her. So her body was found here, what I told you, in the ditch in the water. These are the houses. Her body was found there. But the strange thing was, the bicycle that she was riding on was found here, on the other side of the houses, next to the road that she was biking at.
Is it any possible she was running away from something?
Yeah, maybe, but nobody saw anything, which is really weird.
I mean, we have been there together, so I can imagine it's a place not like a Chinese city. The cities in Netherlands, they are more calm and
yeah, there's not many people on the street, so nobody saw what happened.
I can imagine.
And then her stuff were found on the other side of the road, in between her bicycle and her body.
Yeah, I think she was running away from something, because you said the river was frozen, right?
Yeah.
In general, people won't do that, you know, dangerous things.
Yeah.
Unless, you know, she was scared and
yeah. Well, you know, the police, they looked into it. They went to the scene of where it happened. They thought maybe it was a possibility that she just had a traffic accident.
No,
you know, that she was hit from her bike.
It doesn't make sense.
I know, but that's what the police thought. That was the possibility. And that's, you know, she fell from her bike and hit her head, and she was just crawling away to maybe look for somebody to help her, you know, because there's those houses. Maybe she just tried to crawl there to ask for help or look for somebody to help her. That's what the police suspected, or maybe thought would be possible. But because the bicycle and her body and her stuff were so far away from each other, all the people that lived in those houses nearby, they thought, nah, that doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound like an accident.
No.
And also what one of the people said that lived nearby, and I don't know if he found her but he lives in one of those houses. He said the weird thing is that her legs and the bottom part of her body was not hurt at all. If you get hit by a car and you're on a bicycle, the car would hit your legs first.
Yeah.
So it made no sense. Yeah, it would make no sense. How did she get those injuries?
Yeah, and it will be another witness, or, you know, somebody caused that accident.
They could not find a clear answer, and they kind of run into a dead end. 3 months later, they said, yeah, there is nothing we can see of it being an attack or anything. For now, we have to say it's an accident. And they just closed the case for that moment. And a lot of people, especially her friends and family, were pretty angry because all of the details that happened made it seem like it was not just an accident, but the police could not find anything. So yeah, well, that's where it ends for that case. That happened on the Mallebos, that little street on the picture, right? Then 6 months later, Mallebos came into the news again. Something happened again. So the next person we're going to talk about is called Farida. Farida Zargar. She's 21 years old. Just a friendly looking girl. She worked administration at a transportation company near the Mallebos, so in that same area. So on August 5th, 2010, she finished her work, and around 5:15 in the evening, she got onto her bike and she drove back home.
Sorry, the old lady cases happened in winter of 2010, right?
Yeah, January.
Oh, yeah.
January. Then it took
A morning.
Yeah, and then it took 3 months of research, and then after 3 months they said, we don't know, let's close the case. And this is half a year later. So this is in August, in the summertime. Her company was there in that area, so she also drove her bicycle in that same area. She also took the route on the Malledijk, close to the Mallebos in the forest. And she actually really enjoyed Mallebos. She really enjoyed sometimes after work, drive her bike to the entrance of the forest, then walk into the forest, and there's benches in the forest, so she just likes to sit down and just enjoy the nature. And
calm her down.
Yeah, calm her down after a day of work.
Yeah,
and then after like half an hour, she would just get back onto her bike and she would drive back home. But that day, Farida never arrived back home.
Till when?
Never.
Never. Okay.
Never arrived back home on August 5th. And her boyfriend and her mother got very worried. So they contacted the police. They said, hey, Farida didn't arrive back home. We're very worried about her. Maybe she's somewhere in the forest. Maybe she fell. Something happened. So they started doing a big search. Police officers, family, friends, volunteers, everyone that wanted to help, they helped search all of Mallebos. So they searched that area, they searched the forest, and then they also decide to show her picture on the news and hang it up in different places, hoping that somebody would know something or has seen her. Nobody knew anything. There was no clear sign of what happened to her. No explanation of where she went. Her bike was not found, her stuff was not found. Like, it almost seemed like she just disappeared. After that search, days passed, weeks passed, no sign of Farida. Nobody knows what happened.
I cannot imagine how would her families feel.
Yeah, it's crazy, especially because nobody knows anything. And it stayed silent. For 3 months, there was silence. For 3 months, nothing happened, or nobody saw anything.
But was it any rumor
No.
in that area or region?
No, they were not aware of what happened to Nanda before.
Okay.
But then something weird happened. After 3 months, some person went to the police station in Spijkenisse. He went there on November 2010. But he went there at 3 o'clock in the night, at 3 a.m. In the middle of the night he went there. And he opened the post box of the police station and he dropped something off. Then the next day when the police checked what did this person drop off, it was Farida's bank card.
That's weird.
He dropped that off. It was her card that he dropped off. And they had security footage in front of the police station, but sadly that security footage, as you can see, very bad quality.
It doesn't make sense. If this guy intends to avoid the camera, which means he doesn't want people to know about him, but the action he took is kind of just, I'm here.
Exactly. It's a bit strange.
Yeah.
So this did not help the police at all. It only gave them more questions, like who is that on the footage? Who had Farida's bank card? Why would they wait 3 months to return it? And also, why do it so secretly during the night? Like, why not come during the day and say, hey, I found this card. Maybe it helps your investigation. It doesn't make any sense. So people start thinking, whoever, brought this card to the police station, they knew it was Farida. They knew that she was missing, maybe. Maybe this person knew more about it, right?
Yeah.
Because why else would you do it in such a weird way? A few weeks after that weird thing happened, some workers in the forest, the people that cut the trees, keep everything nice, they found her bicycle in the forest.
Did people arrived at that bicycle place before, the search group?
Yeah, they searched there before. They searched the whole forest when she first went missing. And that was very strange that those workers suddenly found her bicycle.
Yeah, it is very weird.
And then they searched around the area, and then one by one they start finding some things from Farida, like her keys and some other small things they found from Farida, but no sign of Farida still.
Just her bike.
Just her bike and her keys and some small things. It gave people hope, but on the other hand, there was still no sign of Farida. I mean, of course they did a lot of investigations and stuff, but every time they end up back to a dead end. They cannot find anything that helps solve the case. A whole year passed without any answers about what happened to Farida.
So the police closed the Farida's case too?
Yeah, kind of. They, after a while, when there's no more information to be found, they just put more attention on other cases, but they didn't fully close her case yet, because there was still maybe some things they can look into, like that footage at the police station. In October 2011, so more than a year after, something happened. 2 men were robbing people on the street in Spijkenisse. So they were, stealing stuff from people.
It's not a normal thing in Spijkenisse, right?
No. One of their victims knew one of the guys that were doing the stealing.
Oh.
So this victim, he went to the police and he said, "Oh, I know one of the guys that tried to steal stuff from me, and I know they stole from more people." He said, "This guy lives at the Venusstraat. It's a street in Spijkenisse." Then the police said, "Okay, we're gonna go to that house." They went there and they arrested him. And this guy was called Patrick S. They showed a picture of him later in the news. I always thought he was a bit strange. And it was pretty big news because quite a lot of robberies happened at that time. So they showed his picture on the news. And I remember my mom just like, she gasped because she recognized him. Because this guy always walk around our neighborhood as well, because we live so close to each other that she saw him multiple times. And she was like, always said, yeah, he seems a little bit strange, but he didn't do anything bad in front of her or to her, so she always just didn't pay any attention to it. When she saw him on the news, then she suddenly got so scared because he was found guilty of all these robberies. My mom was thinking, well, I could have also been a victim, like anybody can just be chosen to get robbed from. It felt just a little bit scary that such a man doing such bad things lives so nearby us.
But what did he rob? But what did they rob?
Many people, many stuff.
Oh, many people. I thought it was just one victim.
No, many people.
Oh.
That's why he got in the news, because a lot of violence happened suddenly at that time because he was robbing so many people on the street. After arresting Patrick, they decided to search his house. So this was also on the news. It was pretty big news. They went to his house. You can already see his garden is looking pretty messy. There's so much stuff in the garden.
I wouldn't say this is a garden.
Yeah, that's how bad it looks, right? And then also this is what the inside of his house looked like. He was really like a hoarder, collecting so much stuff, all the stuff piled up to the ceiling. Every single room in the house looked like this. They were searching his house, and then they also, in all of this stuff, they found so many stolen items from people, like jewelry, mobile phones, personal documents, bags, everything that they could steal from somebody. Or at some point, one of the police officers that were there noticed something. He found Farida's bag and passport and a missing poster that they hung up in the area. So he took a missing poster from her and took it home and put it together with her bag and her passport and all her personal stuff. It's like in a box. Patrick had her stuff. That put Patrick as a suspect for Farida's missing, right?
They are very directly evidence.
Yeah, you cannot deny this. The police got an anonymous tip. They said, if you're looking at Patrick's house, I suggest you go into the garden, and there's a little shed in the garden, a little wooden house, and under that little wooden house you need to dig up the ground. Police went there, they dig up the ground, and what they found in the ground was a bathtub, but turned upside down. And then they got very worried when they saw that bathtub. They took the bathtub up. They found a glass jar. Inside that pot there was some strange liquid, and inside that liquid was a cut off human foot. That was pretty crazy to find.
This sounds like some kind of ritual, you know?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too, or some kind of like what I thought maybe like a trophy, something that people keep to show how proud they are. So they did testing on that foot, and it was Farida's foot. Patrick was already arrested for those robberies, but then the police said, hey, we found this jar. And he just said, I'll bring you to the place where she was buried. Once again, in the news, this is Patrick. And they went to the Mallebos, the forest. He pointed out where Farida was buried.
They found Farida.
They found Farida. They found her body. More than a year after she disappeared, she was finally found, but sadly, not alive. There was something crazy about that, because I told you earlier, when she first disappeared, they did a huge search of that forest and they found nothing. And then when Patrick pointed out this is where she's buried, you could see nothing on the ground or about the ground, like all the plants and everything was just looking so good. He hid it so well that you could not see that something was buried there. And the most sad thing is, friends and family were looking for her for a year, or at least hoping to find her, right? But from the evening she disappeared, a year earlier, Patrick already immediately killed her and buried her in the forest.
I'm surprised about this part. I thought Patrick would kidnap her and hold her for some...
No. They found out that she was already in that grave from the very beginning. When they asked Patrick, like, okay, you showed us the grave, so tell us what happened exactly, right? So Patrick said, yeah, I wanted to steal her stuff, I wanted to rob her. But then she started screaming and, you know, reacting. And he got very angry because of that, and he just stabbed her multiple times and even strangled her. And yeah, she passed away. And then he stole her stuff and took her bike, and he put her bike somewhere else. And at that exact moment, he also already buried her into the ground immediately.
But what was the case happen? Where was the case happen?
In the Mallebos, in the forest.
Oh. Okay.
Because she liked to go in the forest. So he attacked her when she was in the forest. Some point after she died and she was buried in the ground, Patrick decided to go back there and dig her up a little bit and take her foot. Because you remember, they found that foot under his garden. And he never gave the police a clear explanation of why he did that. He never told the police why exactly he took her foot. So it's never clear. People start just thinking about what would it be, right? Why did he do it? Some people said, yeah, maybe it's his...
just creepy collection hobby.
Creepy collection. Or people said maybe he can have some financial profit from it. Maybe in the beginning he was still planning to contact her family and tell her family, I've taken your daughter hostage, give me money.
But cut a foot off, it's too big, it's too much.
I mean, it's very scary, but maybe, he I don't know, that's what people thought. Maybe as a, you know, just like some mafia... send a finger. Finger. I know, a foot is maybe too extreme. After all that came clear, after Patrick talked about what happened to Farida and stuff, the police also looked back at that footage from the police station, from some person dropping off her bank card. Do you remember? They found out that it was Patrick.
But why?
Well, he didn't say why he did that. So this is all still speculation, and like some people thought maybe he just wanted to mess up the investigation a little bit, because police would start putting all their time and effort into looking at the bank card instead of maybe looking at other signs or other things, right? Or other people said maybe he just enjoyed having that feeling of like,
show off, hey.
yeah, the police being so close but not able to catch him. You know, maybe that made him feel good or whatever.
Yeah, there are many unsolved cases. The serious killers, they like to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Like to leave some things
clues
behind, some clues behind. Now it was very clear that Patrick did something to Farida, but as you remember, we also talked about Nanda.
Yeah, the old lady.
Yeah, the older lady. She also passed away in that area, right? In the same area. When Patrick was in prison, then the truth started to come out about Nanda as well. There was a recording of Patrick talking to his family members, like his dad or his sister or whatever, and he spoke about details about Nanda's case that nobody could know about. Because of that, the police reopened the case. Because they closed the case, you remember?
Yeah.
And they discovered that on that same morning, there was another woman on that same street, just in front of Nanda, maybe a few minutes earlier than Nanda. And this woman said there was 2 men there that tried to attack her.
Yeah.
One man just tried to swing at her, but she saw it coming, so she just, got out of the way and biked as fast as possible, just away from them, just run away from them. And she was lucky in that way, but then the sad part is Nanda was the next woman that came across these 2 men, and she was not as lucky.
Yeah, I'm wondering too, like the first guy who reports those robbers, he said there were 2 robbers, and he recognized one guy. So now, why just Patrick were caught?
Because Patrick was directly connected to the case. The other guy was more like an accomplice, like a partner in crime. I will tell you more about him later.
Okay.
Sadly, Nanda was not as lucky. She didn't get away. And once again, Patrick said he was trying to rob her as well. But then every robbery he does becomes so violent. He always ends up hitting people and hurting people in a very bad way. So after they hurt her very badly, they took her bike and threw her bike away, and then they tried to kind of hide her body somewhere else. Because, her head was so badly injured, maybe they thought she didn't make it. So they just tried to hide her body a little bit, put her body somewhere else. So it became very clear that it was finally not an accident. When he was talking about Nanda, he was trying to blame his partner in crime, the second guy, called Timothy. He said, no, I didn't attack Nanda. Timothy did all the attacking. Timothy was the violent one, just But what happened was they didn't believe him because of all the violent things he did in the past. Of course, Timothy was guilty, but Timothy was most likely not guilty of, doing this injuries to Nanda. They just added Nanda's death to his charges as well. So now he had Patrick, yeah. Now he had the Farida's murder and Nanda's murder, and then the robberies that happened all to his names. Because of all these robberies and stuff, Nanda and Farida were probably not his only victims.
Yeah, I just cannot stop thinking the motivation of why Patrick leaked the clues from the conversation. I mean, of course he knew. If he knew, the police would know about his conversation. So what's the motivation? Why did he do that?
Well, I think, and I'll also talk about that now more, because of who he was as a person. But he was already caught for a murder that he cannot deny. So maybe that's my assumption. Maybe he thought, I'm already in prison, and he feels so proud of all those things, bad things that he does. So maybe he's like, I'm just gonna tell them about all my bad things, because he feels very proud of telling people about all the bad things he did.
Even to his families?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Sick people do sick things. What happened now was he was in prison, and now he had 2 murders on his list and a robbery. So the police started thinking, is there maybe other people he also hurt or murdered or impacted? Yeah. It came out that in 2011, Patrick and Timothy, his partner in crime, the second guy, attacked a 40-year-old Polish man. Polish from Poland. A man
Was
from Poland.
he a tourist?
No, just living in the Netherlands, but he was originally from Poland. And they also attempted to rob him, and they attacked him as well. And he was attacked by a homemade weapon. It was like a iron pipe with nails attached to it on the outside, so nails sticking out, pointy things. The sick thing was that Patrick used to call that weapon his magic stick. Then now you start to understand maybe how sick he is. I will tell you more details.
And also he sounds a little bit dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he never hide anything. This robberies and this attacks always happen during the day as well, and he didn't really cover up either.
Yeah, and they dropped the bank card.
Yeah.
Called his weapon magic stick.
Yeah. When they attacked that guy, they just left that guy behind because they thought they accidentally killed him, or maybe not accidentally, maybe just killed him. That guy survived. Luckily.
On. It was 2011.
Yeah.
He survived.
Yeah.
Okay.
He survived.
Then what happened to him after?
To who?
To the victim.
Well, he survived, but he was so badly injured in his head and stuff, he never fully recovered. After that news coming out that they attacked that guy, then police also start seeing a pattern in the things that they did. Because it was always robberies, and they always chose people that seem weaker than them.
Yeah.
You know, people that
older
cannot
men,
defend themselves.
Older women, younger girl.
Yeah, like the easy victim, right? And also they always ended up using more violence than was needed, because you can rob someone and just say like, I'm gonna poke you with my knife if you don't give me your bag now. But they were more like, pop, 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 give me your stuff, you know, like first to violence.
Yeah, the demon would grow.
Yeah, it was always very violent.
And it's even a foolish demon.
Yeah, he was very stupid.
Without any thinking and caring.
Yeah. So now also we going into who Patrick was a little bit, because there was many articles released talking about the crazy things he said. Because he was arrested, you know, he was convicted of killing those 2 women, you know, he was found guilty. So now all he could do was sit in prison and talk. So he talked to police officers, and he said that he had killed 5 people in total.
2 girls?
And something else, but he never said who. He just said to a police officer trying to show off, like, I killed 5 people. But he never said anything about who he killed.
So there's nothing Netherlands police could do.
What can you do? You cannot force somebody to tell you, because it was his choice to tell or not. So, and then also because he was so full of himself and so proud of his actions, he also said crazy things like, the perfect crime exists, I've been doing it for years. Trying to say like, oh, I maybe killed people and I got away with it for many years already. And also, one of the conversations he had with his sister in prison, he said, there is a beast inside of me.
The stupid demon.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's what causes him to. And he also described in one of his conversations, he described murder as his way of life.
Okay.
And because he made all these crazy statements, he had a psychiatric assessment done, and he talked about he wanted to become a serial killer, and he wanted to make a chain of little bones, like a necklace or something out of bones. That's what he said to this person assassinating him. He was saying a bunch of crazy stuff.
Yeah, I mean, so far there's just only one side I can consider about if he could be a good serial killer, just that the food part. All those, serial killers, they have some creepy hobbies or some creepy rituals, but except that part, nothing showed he could be a good, famous serial.
After a while, after saying all those crazy things, he said, no, some of the things I said were fake. I didn't mean those things, right? So, but he already said so many crazy things, so the police decided, we need to go back inside his house. We need to do more research about all the things, because there was hundreds of things inside his house, right? And they even, because they found so many stolen things in his house, on the official website of what is it called? Like, this is where they release information about crime that happened in the Netherlands, but they don't know something. So they ask the public to look at this, and maybe if they know something, they can contact the police. So this is a few pictures of the things that they found inside his house.
Yeah, like a clue center.
Yeah, just like all the objects that they found were stolen, like just like this wedding ring with a name Marliska and a marriage date most likely. But so he stole all of these things from people, and it was all found inside his house, which I also think is weird, because I would expect that he would sell stolen stuff. Why would he keep this stuff inside his house?
It's pretty hard to sell so many stolen items together.
As you can see, there's so many, like jewelry and stuff.
Yeah, I think this guy's motivation was mostly just about the money, the gold.
Yeah, but besides the jewelry, there is many other things found, hundreds of things, and some of the crazy parts that they found inside the house were also locks of hair, cut off pieces of hair.
Now?
And fingernail clippings.
Now this sounds like a creepy serial killer.
Yes, because when they went back, they found that stuff, and then they start thinking, okay, now it's becoming really creepy. Now, especially, like, why would you keep fingernail or keep hair?
And
it has no value, so it must be like some kind of trophy for him.
Yeah, also nail, hair, they are very classic voodoo stuff or shaman stuff.
Yeah. It was weird that they found these things, but also it was a little bit scary, because it made some disturbing questions come up. Like, were these items found in his house just simply items from robberies? Fingernail clippings cannot be, or is it also that in all these hundreds of items, maybe there is some hidden clues for other murders that happened? But there is just so much stuff, they couldn't go through all of it one by one just to try and find some possibility of a connection to another murder. It's too much. Yeah. So that was a little bit scary to find those things in his house, and then wondering those things, like, did he really kill more than 2 people? To this day, only those two, Nanda and Farida, he was found guilty for. But I would also briefly like to talk about some other cases, because he made those crazy statements about, I killed 5 people.
Yeah.
So they looked into some other cases that happened as well. Another woman, 50-year-old woman called Joke, she was killed in the same area in 2009. This is Joke.
It's a unsolved case?
Well, not really. So what happened was, her husband was actually convicted for her murder.
Oh.
They found her husband guilty, but her husband always kept saying, it wasn't me, there was another person wearing a baseball cap, I didn't recognize him, and he attacked us. But yeah, they couldn't find any other evidence than the husband, so they convicted her husband for it. But the weird thing was that in that area where Joke's body was found, Patrick had a hidden shelter, underground shelter, like a bunker, like only a few hundred meters away from where Yoko's body was found.
Hold on. Because they couldn't find the real killer or the who killed the wife, so they sent the husband to jail.
I mean, of course, they had their reasons, so there was maybe some other evidence that could show that the husband did it. But there was also no other evidence showing that somebody else did it.
But the husband didn't accept or didn't...
Yeah, he was trying to fight it, of course. He was trying to say,
Admit
I
that.
didn't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He never admitted.
No. But, the difficult thing is, that's also what happens all over the world. If there is some evidence like your DNA or whatever on something and it shows that you are most likely the killer, because you can also not show that you are not the killer, then in some
just
cases...
like the AI Investigate movie.
And then in some cases you just end up being guilty. So that happened to that husband. But the crazy thing was that Patrick had a secret place just 100 meters from where her body was found.
Yeah, I mean, Spijkenisse is not a big place.
No, but still, crazy thing was, they did research because it was so suspicious that his place was so nearby. But they couldn't find anything to connect Patrick to be the killer. So that closed that case. So he couldn't have done this one. Then there was another one. This guy, 63-year-old Adrie Knops, he also just suddenly disappeared from one moment to another in his car on his way to work, or he left his house, but he got in his car and he never came back home. And the crazy thing was that 1 year after Adrie disappeared, his family received a mysterious card in their home. I don't know what was written on the card, but there was something written on it that had to do about Adrie. I don't know the exact words.
It sounds like Patrick's pattern.
Yes, that's what the family said as well, because the family was aware that he went to the police station in the middle of the night. So they felt like this could be Patrick's behavior, especially because Adrie Knops also lived in Spijkenisse and he was disappeared there. So they thought, maybe he had some part in it. But once again, police did research and they couldn't find anything to connect Patrick to the disappearance. So he was not convicted of it. Nothing showed. So this also, I think to this day, is still unsolved mystery.
Yeah, it's pretty... I mean, I couldn't imagine his family's feeling.
After all this research, all those things that happened and that have been discovered, in July 2013, Patrick was finally found guilty for the death of Nanda and Farida, and also for the attempted murder on the Polish man, the guy that they attacked. Initially, he got life in prison sentence, but because he had
deserves more.
Yeah, but you cannot do more than life, right? He showed no remorse and he didn't feel like any bad things about what he did. He was even almost proud of it, right? During his appeal, his lawyer fought for a different sentence and he was examined by the Peter Baan Center, which is a psychiatric clinic. And they did another test.
Classic.
They did another test. And the crazy thing is that they found that he was less responsible for his actions because his mental condition was really bad.
Because he's a psycho killer.
Yeah. In December 2014, they actually changed his life sentence to 25 years in prison. And after that, followed by TBS. TBS is a compulsory treatment inside a psychiatric facility. And this treatment can happen as long as it needs to. So he can stay there for the rest of his life. But if the psychiatrists are in the opinion that he has recovered or is not dangerous to society anymore, he can be released. And that's what a lot of people were angry about.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty close, right? What year he was sent to the TBS? 2014?
No, 2014 he first needs to do 25 years in prison. And after 25 years in prison, he needs to do this forced mental treatment in this facility where he's also locked up. So it's kind of like a prison again, but then just for the mental treatment. Timothy, his partner in crime, he got 5 years in prison, and he also received TBS because they also thought he had some mental issues. Yeah, well, that's kind of like where it ends. Like right now, Patrick is still in prison currently. To me, it's crazy. Like you always hear about this really crazy things happening, and it's always so far away, you know? It's always like it either happens in America, or like when I was in living in the Netherlands, I would hear about crazy cases in Japan or in Korea, you know, some crazy, always far away. So for me, it was very scary to find out that this happened in all those same places where I was playing as a kid, not aware that these things happen around me, and also not aware that such scary people can just live so close to you and do these horrible things.
So do you remember anything about this guy?
No, I never really remember ever seeing him or anything. Only my mom remembered him very well. I think as a kid I was just not aware. I never really looked at people. To be honest, I wouldn't even know what my neighbors look like.
Yeah, and also the most scary part to me is just like any victims else.
Yeah.
And who will be those people, and the wife, who killed that wife exactly?
Yeah.
That poor husband.
It's a pretty difficult case.
And also, if this is kind of ritual, like put the food in the jar and collect the nail and hair, I don't think he is the only one doing that ritual stuff or in that evil religion. Remember, he told the old lady's crime details to his families. I think his families, maybe I shouldn't say that, but
no, because there was never any evidence that his family did anything.
yeah, but if it's about some evil religion, he won't be alone.
Yeah, but yeah, they have not found any proof of anything else. And after Patrick went to prison, there was no more of that crime happening anymore. So after that, Spijkenisse went back to being more calm again, because both those two guys that did that, they were both locked up. So yeah, so that was my story about some crazy guy in the Netherlands. If you enjoyed watching this video, please subscribe, comment, like, I don't know, and we'll be back for another story, I think.
Yeah, and your likes and subscriptions are our best motivation.
Yes, well, thank you for watching. Bye!
Bye-bye!
He had a psychiatric
Psychiatric.
Psychiatric.
Oh, I got you this time.